Oftentimes we go through healing, but in life, things fall, things get cracks in them. And instead of going to the manufacturer or back to the potter, we try to go to somebody who's inexperienced to do it. That's why it's like we got to make sure that, like God told Jeremiah, that we got to make sure that we say, okay, I got to observe these different things, because that's how Paul got us this whole armor of God. He was in prison to be able to observe the Roman armor and how we should guard ourselves. That's why we got to be so keen into the daily messages that God gives. That's why God may say, look at the birds, look at the grass, look at the ground, look at even pottery, because I'm so thankful that I have that imagery, because I know that when I feel pain on the inside, I know he's pulling something. But at the same time, you're like 5 years later, you look at yourself, you're like, man, I'm a different person. Listen, when you're in the hands of God, you'll never be the same. It's so sad that some of us are the same people that we were a year ago. If you're not improving daily, then you must not be engaging daily. It is our responsibility to make sure I go. Listen, you're talking to a preacher, man. Listen, there's a bunch of preachers falling right now. And I'm scared because I don't want to get so. I say, God, I love the scripture that says, do not make me too rich that I leave you. Don't make me too poor that I steal. Don't pray that if you don't want the results. Because what if God says you want $1 million, but that $1 million to make you leave me? God's saying, yeah, you down to bologna and cheese, but you eating. I'm glad God keeps me in the middle. But every day I must go to him and say, God, is there anything else in me? So many of us think that since we went to the altar, we're good, man. No, we're not, man. Our hearts are so dark, so wicked. You can't be trusted, because the moment you trust yourself, that's when you'll be tested. Because when you trust yourself and then you test it, then you'll realize, man, I really don't have nothing in there. I want to be a person that I'm always in God, so when I'm tested, God comes out of me.